Hi everybody and welcome to our channel. We've not done a blog for ages. Every time we've been got to do it, it's rained, so I'm up at the allotment today just sort of moving stuff around and try to keep on top of the weeds. That's my overwinter onions that I planted for seed last year. I've got red ones and the Shizeni yellow, so they're starting to bulk up now. And I've done most of them individually. I've not done my Charles ones, where I put them in a clump, but they're coming on fine. And in here, I've got my broccoli and cauliflower. Now, I managed to get some chippings. I think it was the right thing or the wrong thing. A pine, for a pine tree for somebody. And I've planted my brassicas and I've put that all up and down because we were having a bother with slugs because obviously it's rained continuously for a good few weeks. Hardly been able to dry day really. Gavin's potatoes are coming, and we did get some frosts, but they've bounced back, so that's not so bad. We are having an issue with the slugs because it's been so wet. I don't know how many times Gavin's replanted his cabbages and his, well, he's not got cabbages, it's cauliflower and broccoli. He had a whole row eaten, but he's using that other slug pellet to try his peas. Are coming up. His cabbages in the middle are not too bad, and he's got some here under the nets, which some are doing okay and some are not. Gavin's mere, I'm doing potatoes in these pots. I've never tried them before, just some spare ones, so I've stuck them in here. I've tidied up this wee area because it was quite messy, and I've got some strawberries I've potted up and some lilies. And the cuttings, the rose cuttings, are ones that I've done, which I'm going to put against the fence soon and train them up the fence, but that's the growth for this season, so I'm pretty pleased with that. And the peony roses are in there, so that's bra. And I've got more cabbage and cauliflower. The chickweed's taken over in here, but I've just not had the time to get in there and try and sort it, but I will. And that's another rose there. And my Angelica, this is its second year here, right enough. It's like massive, like it's in a pot. So, I mean, some people think it's like that white weed that grows wild, because it just kind of look like that, but I believe you can eat the stem. I haven't tried it, I have to say, but there's a couple of plants in there, but they didn't flower last year, considering I grew them the year before for seed, but obviously they're doing really well. And then some things are, the onions, these are Setsi onions, which are the overwinter ones as well, and you can see the difference for the ones I've grew for seed. They're so much better. And that's sorrel. I'll have to look for a recipe for that because it came back for last year, so I'll look for a recipe to make. And we've done peas. I've just been doing sweet corn in here, and I've got cabbages and some squash in here. I've just put them in, having a bother with the slugs. Gavin's struggled with his beans. I don't know how many lots he's grew, and they're not looking that great. And his one piece of sweet corn that he managed to get done. The blueberries are starting to flower and they look okay. We've got some more compost just to top up the barrels. And Gavin's done some sunflowers down there. And that's a kiwi fruit that Gavin got for one of his friends. And you can see it's doing alright. I think he's going to tie it to keep it back so it doesn't break. It's quite windy at this plot. And I've got some more roses. I'm behind with these cabbages, they should have been in, but I'll get to them eventually. And then, so basically that's kind of this area. Gavin's got carrots and onions that he's done for this season. I haven't even got my carrots in yet, I've not had any time. And he's got some coriander growing, some black cumin there, and some more coriander I think, and his peas are doing alright there, and his garlic is, and I think he's got garlic and onions in there, I'm not quite sure, it looks like, maybe it's a mixture I think, I'm not sure. He's done shallots, and you can see up there the hollyhocks are fairly growing this season, and Gavin's, I don't know if his sunflower's been eaten. You'll see I'm having a bother with the slugs. So the sun, we've got more sunflowers to go in, but the hollyhocks are looking fine, and the teasel, that'll just get tied to the fence. Gavin's got beetroot here in that area. And the wildflowers is doing alright. I just obviously just leave this and I'll just put in the spaces. I've still got a stack of rose cuttings. I don't need to try and, I've gave as many away, I've got rid of a lot. So the wildflowers just self-seeding, the forget-me-nots I'll just leave and then I'll move them when they die back. And I've got some more peony roses here, and that's a ranunculus, quite hard to grow, but they've came back this season, they're quite nice, but there's a lot of weeds in amongst that as well. The tomatoes, well, what can I say, they're the same tomatoes I've got down at the house, but the ones at the house are doing certainly a lot better. I've just put a wee drop of dung around the bottom of them and given them a wee feed, even though some is getting a wee flower, but they're just not that great at the minute, so I'm not that happy at the minute. The weather's been against us, so I moved the strawberry bed up here, and I'll obviously have to do a bit of weeding. As I say, the forget-me-nots will get lifted and moved somewhere else, and the alliums are all coming out, and I've got stuff to plant in the spaces when they all die back. I've stuck some peas in here, more peas here. I've not supported these ones, I just put them in this morning. I'll try to get rid of this mint that's took over. Another wee wild flower bit. I've got fennel and onions and beetroot and garlic in there, and my peas. So they're doing no bad. Chickweed's still taking over. I've dug a bit of this, try to get this mint out, and I've put celery, giant red celery ardic, and if I like it, but I thought I'd try it. The rose that I took all the cuttings off, it's going to be amazing again this year, so, and that's one of the cuttings again. And I've got one from my garden down here, it's an orange, so a couple of different colours. I've done my squashes in here, they're a bit close, they're a bit small, but I had no space at home to keep them any longer, so they had to go somewhere. And I've put some more peas just around this frame. I was going to put my sweet corn behind that frame, but I'm not going to bother now. And my peas are doing alright here. That's kind of still wild. I'm kind of working in amongst the fruit trees, and here I'm trying to do a cutting garden, like another bit. Forget-me-nots, they all get lifted, but they're too pretty to take. There's nothing to go in, we've nothing to grow in at that space at the minute, so I'm just leaving it. So I've planted a pile of wild seed. I'll keep you updated on how that goes. And this morning I've been doing Welsh onions from seed, and just white onions, and I've got more fennel over there. In this area with the chickweed again, Gavin dug it thinking I was going to plant in it, and then ended up he had to put potatoes in it. So he felt like he had got conned into doing it, but he did the no dig, the compost for the compost bin, and literally just lay the potatoes on the ground and then chuck the compost on top. And well, potatoes will grow anywhere, so, but obviously the chickweed is taking over. The apple tree we did cut back because it was getting quite big, and we don't want it too big at this site. So it's a discovery apple. Got a few fruit trees in here, but they blossomed. This was supposed to be a miniature thing that I got in Morrison's, and I don't know what it is, but nothing's ever grew on it. So if nothing grows, it might have to come out, I don't know. And this is a jewel apple. We got a couple of wee apples off it last year. It's an eaten apple, but it's flowering better this year than it did last year. It's its second year, so it might be better. And that's another wee wildlife area. The Acalygus here is really pretty. The granny's bonnet, there's some different ones, and I've got a cherry tree which they're sour, so they're not very good. I've just left it in, and a plum, two plum trees, but they've never had no plums off them. The pear tree last year didn't get any, the year before I had hundreds. There's been a lot of blossom on it, so can only just wait and see what happens with it. And got a couple of wee wildlife ponds here for the wildlife, and the lupins are starting to flower. And a lot of poppies in that. As I said, parsnips for seed that I've just planted in there. And I've done this a wee onion bed, and some poppies. Just moving stuff around really. The broken trugs we're just reusing, and the angelica is here as well. And then I've just planted in some annuals, and then there's poppies and rudbeckia that come up every year down there. And then Gavin's done these boxes for the Anderson shelter this year, and instead of putting soil in them and then you're left with the bulbs, we had it filled with bulbs in these pots, and it was lovely with daffodils and tulips and all the different things. And then now we've just put annuals. We've got lobelia and pansies and dahlias and some grasses. So we decided just to empty all the pots out and just put pots in so as we can change it as the season changes. So it might work out better, but when these all flower, it'll be nice and bright and colourful. And Gavin's made all the boxes, so that was quite good. And we've got some more just different stuff down there. As I say, just emptied all the soil out the trugs. So that's basically where we're at the minute. Just digging this bit over, trying to get the mint out. It was in a pot over there. It's in a pot next door. No, it is in a pot here, but obviously it just still takes over. So, but I mean, we've got lots of flowers, and obviously the forget-me-nots are everywhere, but once they go over and the seed, then I'll dig up the wee plants and pot them into pots, and then they'll go somewhere else to other people in some places, different other places, so that's fine. So that's basically the allotment at the minute. Gavin's hawk had to come down. He wasn't happy with how it was flying, so he's trying to adapt it, but he's glad he didn't have to buy it, because the £40 for one, and he's got two he got given as gifts, and he's not happy with them. But we'll probably put it back up and get it going again and see what happens. So I'm looking forward to hopefully the Peony Roses flower. This is their first season, so the ones at home are flowering or starting to flower, so hopefully we'll see what they do up here. And that's basically the allotment for today. The squashes are in, most things are still got some stuff to go in at home to bring up, and then obviously lettuce and stuff to bring up. We'll find a gap, and that'll be us. So thanks for watching, and hopefully Gavin will be back for the next one. So it's bye bye from me. Thank you, bye bye.